Okay, Nick and Andy, it's FA Cup final time. Crystal Palace against Man City at Wembley. I think this is the most excited I've been for an FA Cup final in quite some time. We've got a clear underdog, a clear giant and favourite. But when you actually start to think about it, Nick, this is going to be very even. And I think my chances of an upset here are pretty high. If I'm putting a percentage rating on it, this is like probably 60% chance of there being an upset this weekend on my upset.
60%?
Yeah.
Wow. I look forward to the end of this segment. We're going to be at 100% Palace, or already planning the parade already.
You starting at 60 might drop me quite a bit. 60, like, so you're saying you think of all, if this game's played 100 times, you feel like 60 of those times? Yeah. I know that's not how numbers work. No. So I do think there's a great chance of an upset.
Yes.
City are in a weird situation. However, I think they've circled this date for a long time. I think the intensity is going to be there. The potential for Kevin De Bruyne going out with a trophy. There's just a lot of things. And I am openly cheering for Palace to win this game. But like hard, like I want that. I mean,
most people,
they went through the Pardew Samba. Like they deserve. What can Ollie Glasner take? Maybe the Macarena if they take a lead. But I have to say that I feel like there's a great possibility because of how good Eze is and Mateta and Tyrick Mitchell, and there's so much to like about this team. But
Andy, I mean, Palace superb in recent weeks, right? No fear. They will be the underdogs. But that game recently, was it in April, about a month ago, when they lost 5-2 at Man City? They were 2-0 up. Should have gone 3-0 up. I think there was goal disallowed, missed a couple of chances. And then City, obviously, they just made them angry and they pounced and a few defensive mistakes, etc. But that shows me there's a great preview to this game about how Palace can really hurt City. And if you look at over the years, Pep Guardiola at City, as great as they've been, they've always had this Achilles heel, right, against teams like Palace who are quick on transition. The amount of bodies that City put forward to attack, they do leave themselves one-on-one a lot. And then you've got, like Nick said, Eze, Mateta holding it up, Eze, Sarr running around and buzzing in behind. You've got Munoz on one wing, Mitchell on the other. I mean, it's a good matchup for Palace if we're talking about pulling off an upset here. It's all kind of like a perfect storm in their favor a little bit, right?
Yeah, so we were joking before we started this segment about the team that City put out against Saints last weekend, 5 central playmakers in there. That's not the way to approach Crystal Palace, who do everything out wide on the wings. We all had Daniel Munoz in our team of the year, Tyrick Mitchell on the other side, Ismaila Sarr running up and down and countering. The thing that Palace have done so well this season is they're not one of the highest possession teams. They're not one of the highest chance creation teams, but they pick their moments very, very well. And it feels like that's something you have to do. Like, not even feels like, you have to be able to do that and manage a 90-minute or 120-minute game in a final. And obviously this Palace team hasn't been there, done that the way that City has in those big moments. And so the nerves and the unfamiliarity could ultimately cost them. But the way that they set up is the complete opposite of what Pep wants to see right now. He has no wide players, whether it's attacker, whether it's midfielders, whether it's even like a reliable wide defender at this point of the season. Their squad is in such an interesting spot. They'll be fine next season because they'll bring a bunch of players in. But I'm at 62%, I think, for Palace. It just, other than City are City, and they have the best, probably 3 or 4 players in the game, there's just nothing about the matchup or about the moment that City are in that makes me think, okay, yeah, they got this. And Palace this means everything to Palace. They've never won a trophy. 119 years? That's a long, long, long time. And to have the opportunity now in this moment where it doesn't just feel like, hey, we're in a final, we're happy to be here. It does feel like they have a real shot to win. I think that, we talk about the human factor. I think that could be what pushes them over the line.
Nick, I mean, so many interesting points there on Palace. I mean, Man City and their mentality, I mean, they've been there so many times before, so many experienced players. All the pressure's on them, right, in this situation to not save the season, but kind of salvage something, win an FA Cup, qualify for the Champions League, even though we had a terrible season. We still did that. But they stumbled last week. I mean, they drew away at bottom club Southampton 0-0. Lots of players have just come back into the team or have kind of been in and out of the team. And like Haaland unexpectedly just appears and starts and plays 90 minutes last week. I mean, it's a weird one. They seem a bit sluggish and are just a bit unpredictable. But they've been getting the job done to get themselves back in the Champions League spots. Is that what it's going to take here? A bit more of a pragmatic display from City to kind of nullify those threats from Palace on the counter? I mean, how do you think they'll approach this? Because I don't know. It feels like for City, they're going to need a bit of magic from De Bruyne, or is it Marmoush, Haaland, Doku? Somebody like that's going to have to come up with the goods because Palace are not an easy team to play against.
Yeah, look, I hate to oversimplify, but Erling Haaland has not been around for a while. And I know he hasn't had a marquee season, but he still had a magnificent season where he was in the Golden Boot discussion despite missing a couple of months. I think that's point one. Palace have scored 4 goals against City this year, a 2-2 draw, and then that 5-2 game you mentioned. So that's why I'm going to go as high as maybe 35% for Palace to win this. But I'll also say this. Since Vardiol moved inside and Ruben Dias has been better, and they understand their roles a bit more. This team's allowed 3 goals, since the beginning of April. And I think they have figured out defensively a better way. Now, granted, 2 of those 3 goals were scored by Crystal Palace, and that was at the Etihad. So I do think this is a matchup problem. And I think Palace are going to be buzzing, and there's going to be an energy at the beginning that they'll be able to harness. I'm comfortable with that. But I can't let go of not the mystique of City, but what's on the line for them here. And again, for Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah. Well, Andy, I think I maybe went a bit too high with my Palace prediction to start with in terms of the percentage, but it's just
awesome. It set the tone. You're a tone setter.
But this is hard. This is a hard one to call. I mean, I'm going to come to you first for the prediction for this match, so enjoy that. But I'm basing my prediction off of what you say and Nick says, because this is hard. This is one of the hardest predictions I think we've ever had to make.
Yeah, nice stat there, Nick, on City figuring the defense out, and so I'll drop it. I think I'm at 50-50 though. Still, I think it's about as you take the moment that both clubs are in, and I'll push back a little bit on what it would mean for City. Would it? Yeah. If you'd ask them, hey, beginning of the season, you can have the FA Cup this season. How do you feel about that?
No, I agree. I'm not telling you, but I think it matters more than we've stated, maybe.
Sure. I'm gonna go 2-1 to Palace. Extra time. Winner. I mean, it's got a big Mateta, right? I mean, to have the injury that he suffered in the FA Cup this season as well, the season that he's had in the league. I mean, he kind of, personifies what that team is. So yeah, I'll go to Palace and again, I think everybody in the world, unless you're a City fan, rooting for Palace in this one. So it will be, it's gonna be a fun one, no doubt about it.
Nick?
I mean, let me first say that what I want as a neutral is 5-4 to Palace after extra time. Like, I just want goals and fun and these attackers to shine. However, I think this is going to have a 2-1 feel and 3-1 to City as Palace push for an equalizer.
Oh,
you got to do it. You got to do it.
I think I'm going to go Palace to win on penalty kicks.
Yes. You had to.
I just think it's going to be a bit of an end-to-end game. Maybe Palace scores, maybe even go up 2-0, but then Man City come flying back. 2-2 in regulation and extra time, and then Palace win on penalty kicks. And what a story that would be for them to win a trophy, but to be in Europe as well and to see European nights at Selhurst Park. I was looking back. Palace have only ever been in Europe once in the Intertoto Cup in 1998. In the 3rd round of that competition, they lost to Samsunspor. So they do not have...
To who?
Samsunspor.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So they do not have any real European experience. I think it'd be great to see them not only just for the Knights at Selhurst, but also to keep the likes of Eze around and some of their other, Mark Gahey will maybe think about staying around if they've got, Europa League football to look forward to. So I'm excited about that.
Can Matt Turner come in for the penalties in your prediction?
Oh, sure. Let's get him in. Let's let him be the hero. He deserves it. He scores the winning penalty kick. How about that? He does a Kelleher.
Jay Demerit.
There you go. Head over to Pro Soccer Talk on NBCSports.com for all the information on the FA Cup final coming up, live updates, analysis, much more from that big game at Wembley. Let's see if Palace can pull off the upset, which we're saying. But Man City, they'll certainly have a lot to say about that. And their superstar, experienced players will want to finish this season on the biggest high they possibly can. But it's going to be a great game at Wembley and a real David versus Goliath battle.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Lowe, and as we head towards the end of an exciting Premier League season, make sure you like and subscribe on the NBC Sports YouTube channel for more content like this.